Hello, I have to say you're on the Sage channel, and guess what came out for Star Citizen? The social module has finally released for Star Citizen. Now, it's still missing some of the group stuff, the clans and the organizations, I believe is the proper word, but what the social module has added is a large multiplayer area. Now, I'm in my hangar right now, but every hangar has a door like this and an elevator in it. Now that the social module has been released, you can go into this little guy here, the elevator, and interact with this screen. You'll see at the right, there's a little keypad. You can actually go ahead and hit a bunch of keys on it and launch. Now that's not going to take you anywhere 9 out of 10 times. In fact, every single time it's not going to take you anywhere unless you enter A01, and then that'll take you somewhere. You can, of course, just click on that and click launch. And what I'm going to do now is skip ahead because there is a bit of a loading screen here as it loads into the actual Corp area. And there we go. And you'll see a little texture pop in, and for some reason there's somebody dancing about in here. And we're still in the elevator, but if we walk towards this door, voila, we are indeed in the Corp area. I suspect this guy right here is dancing about because he's trying to find some way to glitch through this and get out of the map. You'll find a few people running into stuff. That's an actual player. We can actually hit F2 and you'll see who it is. So there we go. F2 brought up our VR thing and Revelist 123. And you can also see that someone else is just loaded in BOD 699. Let's turn that off for now. And yeah, here we are. We are in Corp. It's a pretty fantastical place. We're actually just in the passport control sort of area right now. I'll go into the rest of it in 1 second, but I'll just pan the camera slowly so you can see it is, well, even just this room. Look at how much detail there is everywhere. I mean, it's impressive. You got your lovely big glass doors there. The wall right in front of us now, it's border control. It's actually got writing on it. And each of those metal panels there are actually a separate metal panel. The ground itself, you can see, is slightly reflective. This guy is staring right at me for some reason, making me very... Why are you staring at me? Yes. Shoot. When you load in, your armor is going to be randomized at the current moment. So you can see the guy on the left there seems to have lower level armor. I say lower level. His armor is lighter compared to the guy that just ran in there. And in fact, if I was to go ahead and press the insert key, yeah, you can see I also have heavy armor on right now. Looking down can get a bit glitchy right now. Let's press the insert key again and go back into first person. I'm going to try not to spend 3.5 months staring at every little nut and bolt, but there is a whole lot of detail to everything. As I said, even these panels right here in front of us, you can even see that they are actually separate panels modeled out. It's really impressive stuff. They've done a great job. Even the texture detail, look how close I am to that. It's still pretty damn crisp. It's fantastical. The ground here is even a masterpiece of creation. If I was to go ahead and remember how to crouch with a controller. There we go. You'll see that they have this, what looks like an awfully big drop base, so you could easily get your foot stuck in there, but it's pretty cool. They've gone ahead and put a piece of glass over it. You can see they've even modeled little details to sort of hold it all together. And, well, a bit of a toe stubber right here, but they've even put a bit of a railing thing on it. Of course, you can walk right over that without issue, as they have taken into account that it is a video game, so you shouldn't just be tripping over everything. Unfortunately, you can't go out there into what is a landing area. Once Corp is actually integrated into Persistent Universe, the whole open finished version of the game, when you land your ship on Corp, you'll land at a place like this and go through a door like that. It'll, at least as it's currently been talked about, be a sort of instanced area where everyone will land their ship probably in what looks like the same area. They'll go through this checkout or check-in area here and then go through the door on the right to get into the actual Corp, where they'll actually join the multiplayer main area on foot. That way a bunch of ships can land at the same time. So let's actually go ahead and stop running around this tiny little room with this nice bit of foliage, apparently a trash can, I'd assume, and its little opening thing here, which in the future I suspect will actually give you some more useful information instead of just being a holographic display to kind of give you an idea of the area that you're in. It'll probably actually tell you, because this actually is a mock-up of the area that we've landed in. It'll actually probably tell you, like, medical center P3, sector P3. You'll actually go ahead and try to find sector P3 then if you need medical, instead of it just being something for looks. So let's go through this door with a big arrow on top of it and into this area. In the full game, I suspect you'll sit here for a second and be scanned, and you can even see back there there's apparently a bit of a, what do you call this, security checkpoint where you'll have to leave your guns, because something I missed in this room, which luckily I can still run in. No, I can't. Is the door glitched out? I've done this twice before and the door didn't glitch out, so now it's glitched out and making the game look bad. Wow, terrible. Twice before I've done this and nothing happened. But there's a sign there that tells you actually that anybody with security level 3 and higher can bring a gun in here. Let's just assume right now that nobody is actually at that security level, because currently you cannot use a gun. Currently there's not really anything to do, but assume you'd be getting scanned in here by a big arm. Your biosignals would show up there. Right now, you just simply walk through this area. By the way, I'd like to point out the fact that this window, or hologram window, or shield, actually has a bend in it right here. The fact that it bends around this corner, that is a pretty damn cool little thing. I mean, the amount of detail that's stuck in here is incredible. Let's not get hung up on it. Let's keep walking. Ignore the awesome light on the ceiling. Oh, damn it. I could have gotten back out there in that second. Anyway, let's head out here. And you'll see that actually gives us a red, because you can't go back that way. You have to use the other door. And welcome to Corp. It's pretty fantastic. If a bit smaller than I'd actually like, but you know me, I like massive structures and stuff. Unfortunately, currently you can't go into every room of that building. You can only go into, well, one of them. But hopefully in the future, maybe even a couple of years down the line actually, because they don't have plans for this, they'll use some sort of their module system and maybe a, oh, what's the word I'm looking for here? Sorry for the cut there. I had to find the word procedurally generated. So hopefully in the future they'll actually be able to select a building's shape, put in an elevator to tell it what should be on each floor, and it'll procedurally generate, using a modular system, the entire building layout. Why would they do this? Well, just because it would be awesome to actually feel like you're in a proper city and you can go everywhere. Of course, as I said right now, though, these are mostly empty buildings, and there are a few shops in them. I'll go ahead and show you through. What I'm going to do now is basically go through this whole area here and show you all of Corp that there is currently. And try not to get hung up like I just did in that last room and spend 3.5 hours just looking at every little thing. Yeah. A lot of the buildings here are actually pretty tall, even though when you go inside them, there are usually only 1 or 2 floors that you can access. I'm hoping in the future they'll add even more of those, even without doing the procedural thing I just mentioned. Anyway, let's go ahead and start over here to our right. We're not going to go into the medic unit yet. We're actually going to go down here, down an alleyway, because there are a few alleyways. Currently, they don't really lead anywhere, and in the future, they have said that there will be NPCs walking around not only these alleyways, but everywhere. But if you want to do any shady business, you'll probably need to go to the alleyways in places like Corp. I'd also like to point out that some of these railings and stuff here, like these big metal grates blocking our way here, and also the ones right here, you could suspect in the future these would be moved around as things maybe get worse or better on a planet. This is in the far-flung future, or at least somewhat farther flung, when the actual economic system is in place, because this game is actually going to simulate a, well, economically downtrodden areas, let's say. So if this is Corp, the Corp planet, the main city, well, eventually you could find that Corp isn't doing too well in business, and as such, the entire place has found itself being run down. They've actually done all their textures and models in a way that they can actually apply grime, that's like this black gunk here, on the fly. So as time goes on, they can tie it into that economic system, and if things go bad, this whole area here could find itself covered in far more graffiti and being more run down. I'm also going to go ahead now and pan upwards and show you, look at the ceiling here. I say the ceiling. They've actually gone ahead and done some pretty cool things up here with the wires and all that, but also the fact that they just have this this grating above us to sort of, well, I don't know, separate it off, and I guess it'll catch things that maybe ships would drop. I think it's pretty damn awesome to have. And I also like the fact that they do have this sort of light post that is going straight up through it, where they sort of left a block open for the lights to be. It's a pretty awesome thing, and I can imagine in the future maybe the security would walk around up there. There are a few cameras on the right side here, if we were actually to look at those. So this place is monitored, but of course, if we were to stand right here, I'm assuming we'd be out of line of sight of the cameras right now. Probably. Unless there's other ones I'm missing. There's also some cool little balcony areas up here that unfortunately we can't get to. And of course another medical thing, which this one we can't actually go inside. I was sort of hoping this would be like Dr. Mercer's spare body parts or something, where you'd go in there and sell body parts or who knows what. But unfortunately right now it's not open. Same with this. I was hoping this would be the back door to maybe the morgue in the hospital area, but no such luck as of yet. Hopefully in the future we'll see a lot of these places opening up, maybe leading to other little shops, maybe elevators that will take you down to lower areas of the city. Currently right now, no such luck, and well, it is all very pretty, but it's not to be expected that all these places will be opened up on the very first release of the social module. Here comes another person running by. Please don't stare at me, keep moving. Now you stopped, you made it all awkward. Don't you do these move when I move things? I would like to point out there are a few little graphical issues. right here, it's pretty cool, and I say pretty cool, it's pretty basic, it's just a flat plane, nothing wrong with that. But I did notice when looking at this that there's a bit of hovering grime right here, like a flat plane hovering in the air with some gunk on it. And this pipe also is an awesome pipe, but it does end right there. It doesn't look like it connects into anything. I noticed the same thing when I was looking at this pipe over here, unfortunately. It also comes down and seems to just end there. So this place still does need a little bit of artistic tweaking to make things better. Unfortunately, this alleyway does dead end right here. As beautiful as these metal plating on the wall is, and the fact that there's actually 5 different metal pieces right there just to make up the dark gray section right there. Oh god, I love it. I could stare at these walls all day. I absolutely do love these walls. This is actually the end of this alleyway, and I've seen dozens and dozens of people up there trying to get out of it. I have seen some people succeed in the past, though, in getting out of these areas, but I've had no such luck myself. You can see a few NPCs standing down there talking to themselves and doing, well, who knows whatever NPCs do. Unfortunately, we can't get down there. I'm expecting in the future, not far-flung future, but the semi-near future, they'll be removing some of these panelings. Wow, there's a lot of people here suddenly. And allow us to actually... What are you doing? Why are you down there? Weird. And allow us to go down there and actually look around. Maybe not all the way up to the ship, but at least get down there and explore some more. I'm being followed by this person. Oh, good. Now they've latched on the... Well, he doesn't seem to mind. Oh no! It's a multiplayer game now. It's gonna happen! The devs might have not intended it, but it's gonna happen! These back alleyways, they're gonna be full of things! Gonna be full of sin! I do hope the devs do allow for, maybe not necessarily that, but, drugs and other terrible misuse things back here and crimes that you can stop or commit. I also love this little opening here, which I suspect this grate or door, or whatever you want to call it, is going to be opened up in the future, because look, an arrow pointing to section J42 and J45. You can very much expect that this will hopefully open up in the future, and we'll be able to go out there and explore even more areas. I do hope that this place just continues to grow. I really want it to be about 8 times its current size when it's done, and they have said that there's going to be multiple landing areas on planet, so even if they don't increase the size of this place, having, you know, a few landing areas on most planets this size would be pretty cool. But you know me, I just want everything to be even bigger and better than it currently is. Anyway, let's head inside the medical unit, shall we? Dr. Roberts, currently on staff. If you don't know, Chris Roberts is the main guy that started this whole game project up and is still leading it. I thought there's little hints to him all over the place. Current wait time, 16 minutes. So let's go ahead and head inside. You've already taken a glimpse inside. Oh, second door. No, you would do this to me. It's a pretty awesome place in here. I love it. It reminds me a lot of Dead Space 2's government area. I mean, I would just love to spend ages in this place. Unfortunately, you can't interact with anybody. They are NPCs, and they all currently have these sort of blackish dead eyes. A little creepy. And that door looks like it's probably fake, but it is still cool to see all these control panels. I love the fact that they got these curved bits of metal at the bottom that's actually supporting them. It's a very interesting choice, and it's also countered very well by the fact that a lot of it has these sort of 45 or 35 degree sharper angles to it at the top there, where it actually meets the paneling, and oh, I love it. Everything about this place is fantastic. This is probably my favorite place in the whole ArcCorp landing zone, is this room right here in the hospital area. I would love to have a ship completely styled like this inside and out. It's beautiful. You can, of course, also run over here, and you can see they have a few medical tools. If we turn on our AR, yeah, there we go, by pressing F2 again, you can also see it tells you the prices on these things. You can't currently buy them, but you can see them. And gives you a little description about it, like, Cure Life's One Click is a first-line treatment system capable of providing temporary relief against a variety of medical conditions. So it gives you a little tiny thing about it. It even gives you an icon with these things. It's pretty damn cool. Yeah. First aid system. I love it. And of course we can do F2 if we just want to look at the models themselves. And you can see, like everything else, there is a fair amount of detail gone into these damn things. Crouch down here. This seems a bit silly and bulky, that reviving thing, or medical pads thing. I'm assuming it's one of those. Luckily, we can actually do an F2 and find out. The single-use mobile defibrillator unit is perfect for military and law enforcement field applications. Simply place the electrodes and press the button. Now, I guess it'll do the rest of the work. It's a bit odd it's single-use when it is so hefty, but let's assume it does a lot more than just resuscitate somebody as a modern-day device would. It's awesome. Nonetheless, to actually see this stuff, even if that one didn't make much sense to me. And I am loving the art of these display cases actually sticking out some of the wall, and the fact that all the edges in them, the 45-degree angles, and I think that's actually not a 45, is it? And then the fact that they got these little vents at the top, and let's see it, oh, lights at the bottom reflecting off the ground, and the ground actually has stuff carved into it. I mean, I love it. It's fantastical. Unfortunately, it does just disappear into a black void back there. Maybe they'll find a way to make that slightly nicer, or maybe they'll just leave it be. Maybe in the future, these will actually get replaced with different machines as time goes on. And I do love the fact that new people just keep coming in here. Look at that! He instantly goes up to, hello, can I jump in here? No, I cannot. Oh no, he's looking at me. Why is this person staring at me? I love this. I just love everything about this. Look at the benches here, too. And the little warning things. It doesn't actually tell us more. Can we... An AR thing would be awesome if we could see something more about it. So damn cool, nonetheless. I just love everything about it. The art is so fantastic. It's one of the main things that drew me to Star Citizen, just they said they were going to go all out on the art, and so far they have. By the way, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I do have a frame rate counter at the bottom left. I'm running a 980, and you'll see its frame rate will drop a little bit from time to time. I'm running at 1080p, so the game, well, it runs reasonably well for something that is such an incredibly high poly as this, where everything seems to be modeled out and not just a texture. It's fantastic. Unfortunately, we can't go into the emergency area. I would absolutely love for 12 to 200 floors of just medical stuff. Maybe they'll have a dedicated medical planet with 200 floors, but even this place, I'd love to have 12 floors and, oh, your friend's on deck 17 you're covering for this, or some NPC you hired that got shot up is somewhere and you want to go visit him, and all sorts of nonsense. Oh god, the possibilities if they continue adding rooms and stuff to this is going to be amazing. I do hope they do. And that plant is pretty damn realistic in a way. In the way that it is opening up in the middle there and then just keeps holding out leaves. I've seen these. There's something very similar to them. That actually caught me off guard. I didn't expect it to actually see something I sort of recognize. And like that center point there, the fact that it's got that curled up point, I've seen that before. Wow, that caught me off guard. I don't know why. I've seen 1,000,000,001 plants in games before. Anyway, let's go out of here and into somewhere else. Let that guy pass through. I just like that there's some etiquette a lot of times. Can I access this? Let's see, F2. I do hope in the future we'll be able to access more things. Unfortunately, when you're out here and you do the F2 thing to get your overlay, it doesn't highlight, oh, this is a medical unit. It was founded in the year blah blah blah. Oh, that's G-Lock or whatever. Oh, that's Kasabi or whatever you call it. Let's keep on moving though, instead of me waffling on and on and on, as I always do. Let me waffle on and on while moving. So let's go over to the next shop here. A lot of advertisement signs up above us. More of the same wall details that we saw sort of used elsewhere. Luckily they're reusing the same things. As I said though, they can fade in and out the amount of grime. This also allows them to basically change how they look a little bit, so they don't all look exactly the same. Maybe in the future, or maybe they already have it, you'll also be able to swap out paint types. So, this right here is the job well. Let's go ahead and head inside here. Pop open this door. And we'll go inside the second one. Most of these buildings have a sort of double door. Not exactly sure why they did that. I think maybe in the past when they were first starting to set this up, they were afraid they're going to have like a mini load screen where it closes one door and then opens the other. So far, it looks like they don't. It's pretty awesome that it actually works nice and smooth. And this is the job well. You can see it's a humongous waiting room. When I've originally seen pictures of this place, I was actually extremely worried about the scaling of this room in particular. Because I was worried that it felt like it was just a huge atrium, where how would you ever fill this up? And I mean, it just seemed like the scale felt MMO-esque, or it would just be the wrong scale. But once they get a few NPCs in here, after walking around it myself, I actually get the feeling that it is going to be pretty properly scaled now. Last time I was in here, there were about 4 or 5 people actually looking out the window over here, which was pretty awesome and actually gave it a better sense of scale instead of just me walking about. It's a pretty awesome room. I love that area there that I'm assuming shows the Corp planet. And I'm assuming different landing zones and stuff that they have planned or that will exist. Maybe you won't actually be able to land on, but there'll be different cities you'll be able to ship stuff to. It's pretty cool nonetheless. Hey, there's a guy actually like crawling around up there working on it. I love it. I love it so much. There was actually a real person out there last time I was here too that was running around and jumping on stuff. They somehow got out there. And by the way, if we look to our right, see that little tiny fence there and there's a bit of stairwell? That's where we were earlier, where all those people were trying to jump over it. So damn awesome that it loops around. I can't wait till more of this gets opened up and there's more people, and especially the NPCs get added in. It'll be fantastic. You'll see all those NPCs just walk around making this place feel more alive. Oh, I love it. I love the amount of detailed little plants that they got stuck in there. The fact that so much is actually... I can't make out what she's saying, but she's saying something. I just love it, the little plants and everything's modeled in, and the little bumps and edges that they have, the bevels that they have around all the ground. It's awesome. And look at this piece of metal. I love how shiny it is. And I love that there's light stuck into it. I just love it, and the curve to it. It's beautiful. And the fact that they got this here modeled in with the glass in it, so it's not just some metal or some plastic there. They actually have the glass in it to divide an inner layer that like you're not supposed to be touching the inner layer on its own. God, I love it. And then they have this here, like it's back behind the main wall, but they decided to have this indentation for all these machines so you can actually almost see behind the main wall, but they've put some sort of blocker in there. It's like they thought it out in some way. It's... God, I love it. I love just the amount of detail. There's very few spots, like behind those machines that we were in the medical area, that are just black and plain like that. Usually everything is incredibly well thought out. I mean, even look at this. Corp, reminding where you are. And it's, I believe it's painted, yes, on a piece of glass, blocking some metal and stuff. It's amazing. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. And this, yeah, there's like even a little waterfall. That doesn't look the best, but it's still pretty cool. It's still pretty damn cool. I love it. I don't know what this is supposed to be. If it's supposed to be text or if it's supposed to just be something to make it feel alive. Either way, it's all awesome. Let's head back out here now, into the big Corp with the big mega cog gear thing in the middle again. I originally thought those gears were just going through each other and clipping, but they actually look like they're lining up. Left to right, they don't really line up. They're spaced perfectly so they don't hit each other, but they do line up with the bottom and then with the top, at least one gear they usually line up with. It's pretty impressive, really. Hello, person. Hello, light. Hello, cameras on light. Let's go ahead and keep moving. Get in the zone. Auto zone? That might be copyright infringement. Isn't it get in the zone, auto zone? They might not want to use that. Let's, of course, before we head into the bar, let us head down another alleyway. I'll go a little bit quicker now since you've already seen a lot of the basic blocks that this world is built out of. I say blocks, different components. Ooh, there's a fan in the ground. I can't remember the name of that one woman who was very popular for standing on top of the tramway things. She was popular for a lot more than that. Oh boy, I do love the amount of detail though, and the fact that it's not just a flat surface, there is so much depth in everything. And there's stuff dividing it up. This is a pretty cool area right here. If I look to my right, it's sort of a garbage dumping area. When I first came back here, I half expected there to be like bums or something living back here. But of course there's no NPCs yet, except for the ones behind desks and stuff. But it's pretty awesome nonetheless. They have this sort of garbage dumping area here. Oh, there's actually smoke coming out of these vents here. That's awesome. Well, maybe not smoke, but mist or something. It's, I love it. I absolutely love this area right here. The fact that the walls slope downwards, and then there's another drop here into a more rectangular area with the garbage disposal, and you can imagine that's where a lot of garbage comes from, those two big buildings, the medical center and the actual job well building. It's absolutely incredible. In fact, the job well building, I could imagine it only having like 1 or 2 floors dedicated to that, and mostly being done just at those kiosks, and then the medical building actually controls the rest of the actual structure. And here's the actual garbage thing. If I actually walk over here, and not say actually again, because I've said it far too many times, you can actually see, I said it again, you can see the beams of light sort of shooting through the air. The God rays, as I believe they're called. It's an awesome little effect. I mean, I just love all the detail that's gone into this place. It's so fantastic. Ah! I'm so happy to finally be able to walk around this place, even if there are limited NPCs and interactions with people currently. Just the amount of detail, like my eye can just run all over the place and still be finding nuts and bolts and indentations and stuff popping out. Like, look at these pipes. Look at these pipes. I'm going to run up to this pipe here. It's amazing. Because you got the pipe here. Oh god, my camera spurs. But you got the pipe here, and it comes down, and it's got these like little brackets around the outer edge of it, and then more brackets, and then it drops down. Then another bracket thing as if it's just 2 pipes of the same size being connected, and then it comes down to another bigger bracket with a whole area here that's bumped out and all secured, followed by more brackets and a changing size again, the pipe getting a bit thinner again before this like U-bend here, or L-bend going into the side here. And they even have little details to the L-bend as if it's actually made out of different segments of metal held together in some way. And the texture work is beautiful too. I love it. And this one over here even has a little like access port to it. That one might have had too on the other side, but I didn't see it. But this one has this little like cog screw. I say cog screw. This little handle here. What's it called? Handle turner. The wheel to turn there to maybe access it. I just love it. I doubt you'll ever be able to access every single little panel in the game, but just the idea that they model it in there is incredible. Let that person go around. Unfortunately, you can't go through that door there. I'd love to be able to go in there. It's a bit odd, frankly, because this actually leads up to the bar. I guess this sort of makes sense that we got all this stuff here, but I don't remember seeing a door lining up with this on the other side. We'll have to try to remember to look. We're going to now head down this way, following those two people running, and getting mildly distracted by the cool glowy lights and seeing this vanish into the... Oh, it doesn't just vanish in the darkness. There's actually just a panel there with cords and stuff. I love that, the way it sticks into the wall. All these cut-ins and pop-outs on stuff are just what I'm really loving here. And the lighting is fantastic on everything, too. Oh, look at the ceiling, too. All the wires and stuff up there. I mean, oh my god, I love this room so much! Oh. Stay calm. Oh. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. The big metal struts holding up the ceiling above us, which we're actually out under that huge, super tall building now. I mean, the views in this game are fantastic. I doubt they'll ever let you fly around out there. I mean, it brings up so many issues if you're allowed to fly around the whole city. The idea that if you crash into a building, what happens? You know, do you damage the building? Do all buildings have a mild shield generator? I'd hope in the far-flung future we'd be able to, and all buildings have their own shield generator, and if you did fly into a building, you basically lose your authorization to fly a ship in the area. But there's also, of course, all the traffic in the sky, which is all on preset paths, and how do you deal with that if you've got actual people possibly interfering with that? There's so many issues that we might never see that. Here's actually the other side of the bar that we haven't even been in yet, but it's pretty cool to be out here looking into it. Oh. Yeah, it looks alright. I thought I might have found a gap. It doesn't look the best up there, but it's still pretty good. I did find an... Ooh, there was some popping. Issue right... Oh, God, more popping. An issue right here, if we go around... God, I just love that there is a little bit of graffiti, and the idea that if this place does get downtrodden, if our Corp doesn't sell as many whatever they sell, suddenly this place is going to get really run down. And, game over, man! Game over! Oh, boy. But I did find this here. That huge gap into the void. So, yeah, that's not exactly ideal. I'm sure they'll slowly fix those as people find them and report them. God, look at all the detail. Another little thing. You could imagine this being like a spare parts sale place, or maybe where a cargo ship's dock or garbage ship's dock, and then the garbage gets carried over to that furnace over there. It's so damn cool. There was a Zone 2 sign there to our left or right a second ago as well. Oh, God, and more of these amazing pipes. I love it. I love everything about this place. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. They even did a great job. Can I get under here? Oh, please, look at me. I am so close. Let me under there. Oh, come on. Look at that. I can fit under there. Oh, come now. That's not fair. I wanted to go on. That was so damn cool. Oh, what could be hidden back there? Druggies? Morphine? Porn mags? Holographic porn mag. Oh boy. Yeah, I just love this place. And I love, as I said, they did a fantastic job on even modeling the garbage. I mean, maybe it's a bit... No, it's not even blurry. It's not even blurry. And this is a ripped open bag. They modeled a ripped open bag. That's dedication. That's dedication to quality. You never see that. Or it's just completely flat texture, but they modeled the bag, and they actually have it popping out a little bit, and then the actual texture with the trash on the inside. And I think that box is even modeled there. That box is modeled. That cup is modeled. I love it. I love it. They've done such a good job with this place. Oh my god, the detail. The amount of detail. I'm so happy they put it all in. Oh, here's these awesome things that I pointed out earlier, the 5-piece ones. If you didn't know what I mean, there's 2 horizontal long ones and the 2 smaller ones. It's just fantastic. I love this piece. It's my favorite piece out of all the different modular pieces they have to build this place up, because that's usually how stuff in video games is actually built. It's modular pieces they move around to snap together, well, not even snap together, put together to make these large areas. That's my favorite one, just that one there on the right. God, look at this place. Look at the random lights up top. The fact that one light straight ahead is sort of crooked, like something hit it ages ago, and they're like, well, the metal's bent. We're not going to replace it. It still works. Oh my god, this place is beautiful. A bit of haze in the air, too. Carrying on, we got more stuff blocked off by these dividers. Again, I'm hoping that in the future... Oh, good. Look, they even designed them so they can sort of fit together with these little bolt things. I'm hoping in the future we'll see more of these sort of get moved about as time goes on. Like, maybe there's some event here, and you come back and you're a week too late for it, and you've missed it, and they've cordoned off an area because of the mess, quote-unquote, that was made by the party or whatever. I mean, it's just so much stuff. Oh, I want to go out there. Look, there's the stairs. Let me out, let me out. I want to explore everything. Oh, I want to go everywhere. I want to go absolutely everywhere. I want to go inside every room of every building. I want to go down every alleyway. I want to go down to the very bottom of these buildings and see what it's like. Is there like literally a half a mile of just trash piled up? What's it like down there? Oh my god. Are the tramways? Is it like the Fifth Element in the fact that there's trams down there and forgotten tunnelways? And oh, yeah, I want to see it all. I love this area here too, because it's got these little repeating patterns of these lights above us. It almost feels like I'm getting scanned when I walk through here. Unfortunately, that one wire is clipping through one, but you can probably ignore that. God, I just love it. It's simple when you look down, unfortunately. The floor, I think, if this was a scanning room, would need some love, but overall, I love the ceiling in this room. Let's keep on moving. More graffiti on the walls. I cannot wait till they get NPCs in, and I hope that they do manage to make even the graffiti come and go very easily, depending on the economic state of the city that you're currently in, the landing zone. One hell of a monstrous drop right here. Unfortunately, you can't get down there. I'd love to be able to, as I said earlier, explore down there on those little walkways and stuff, and I can even see walkways farther down there. I'd love to just go exploring, but unfortunately, as of yet, that is not in the cards. Oh, area J42 and 45. Wasn't that the same one it was saying over there? They might have to look out. People are going to catch on. Before heading over there to the Astro Armada, I'm going to go ahead and... Well, no, let's carry on clockwise, but let's go back to that bar, because we missed the bar. It sort of looped us around that. And let's actually get inside it now. The G-Lock bar with its nice little sparkles and a star. Funny thing. And a lot of alcohol on display at the windows. Boy oh boy. And an automated door. A few more people are joining me here. Yeah, we know we're in the G-Lock. It's almost like a waiting room, having one of these places in a bar, but you can almost imagine, I'm going to take my coat off in here, some silly looks like that. Welcome to the bar. We got all of our drinky stuff here. All looks to be smots. It all looks to be smots, but just different colors, so probably different flavors. The drink itself, the foam, seems unnaturally firm to me. Look at that foam. Look at that foam. It's not moving. It's not even leveling. If it's been sitting here for days, you would expect it to disappear to leveled out at the top. It's not. It's not. But yeah, I'm sorry, that just distracted me a lot. God, just look at the detail. Let's hop over this real quick. This is a door, by the way. It doesn't open, but I've seen them elsewhere. But you can also see that the bar area here, the actual area where the drinks are being placed up, is actually elevated by these little tiny robo arms. I mean, look at that. The attention to detail is just... I can't get over it in this game. It's fantastic. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to say it's kind of ugly here, this other side of the table. It's just a dark metal. It's just scratched up. Compared to everything else, it's not too pretty. But they do at least have a handle, so you can imagine all these things pulling out. They just seem a bit too standard. Here's our barkeep guy with his godless eyes. Look at those eyes. Completely wasted. He's still alive though, his head is moving. I was joking around with somebody earlier that he had an alien ale or something, and he was talking about, I brought up the foam, and he was saying that it was from the Zion, or however you say those aliens. XI thingamajig AN. He was saying it was poisonous or something. That's why the foam it was actually a fungus growing on top. Oh god, I love this place. The floor is a bit standard, but I guess I'm alright with that. You can tell that the furniture is just put in, it's not built into the floor, but it does mean that in the future, if they want to change this stuff around, it would make sense that the furniture could be moved around because it is just furniture sitting on the floor. I do wish there was some, maybe screen space ambient occlusion to make them blend in a little bit more, but overall, it's pretty fantastic, and the chairs do have some bevel around the base to make them blend in. It's a fantastic thing. I love this. They even got little couches over here. Unfortunately, you can't really sit on anything at the moment. Let's go ahead and head up here. These are those large windows we were looking, and the music got louder. Those large windows we were looking out when we were down there earlier. Lord God, I love it. I love it. You can, of course, also dance. This guy, he's sort of like, I don't know, he's trying to dance, so he's not doing it. This is how you do it. You hit backspace, that was not it. F12, you hit F12, and you do a enter, god dang it, and slash dance. Yeah, look at that head bob. Oh my god. Chris Roberts, make your character's eyes lock onto something, not bob the whole head. Oy vey. But hey, it looks alright when you're in third person, eh? Well, it looks like a silly dance. Let's do a slash dance too, eh? Because there's two different dances, so you can see he pops and then he starts his robo dance, man. I am robo dance, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I am not built to dance. Oh boy. It's pretty good though. The animation is quality. They're redoing all their character rigs and animation, I guess, or at least they're in the process of reattaching all the animations to a new rig. Watch this. He's about to finish the dance animation. Unfortunately, it doesn't loop. But look at that. He's like, I gotta look the other way. I got a laugh out of that when I first found that one. Let's go ahead and head back in the first person and not look at the speakers, which are, well, they're sort of just bland speakers, aren't they? Let's not look at those. Let's keep moving though. What do we got here? We got our cheesecake light. It's a light that looks sort of like cheesecake with chocolate on top. Our, I'm assuming, wine, and for some reason, ship statistics. I'm sure some of this will get tweaked and changed, or maybe even be interactable in the future, where you'll actually be able to interact with it, those screens, and maybe order stuff. It's pretty cool little chairs here. Fairly simple. Let's actually go ahead and do a F12 again to hide the chat. Don't need that. It'd be kind of cool if you had to have like your AR mode open to have the chat show up, but at the same time, I think people will get a bit sick of having to have AR open for that. I like this little edge here too, and the fact that if you can barely see it, you can just barely see it. It might not even show up on YouTube, but there's this thing of glass right here along the top as well. It's pretty awesome. Oh wow, and the liquid is actually see-through. Shame it doesn't do any like a warping of the light or anything coming through it. This actually reminds me of Battlestar Galactica for some reason. These metal panels here, and these like foam panels here. Anyway, that's this place. It's pretty awesome, like everything else. A thruster up there, another thruster there, a few vents. They have shown off these big windows closing before, like those metal things coming down and closing them, so hopefully in the future you'll be able to trigger that somewhere, or maybe if you start shooting out the place they close and the security comes running in like, what are you doing? And instantly blast you and take you down and throw you in the rig, and then your security clearance levels drop. You can never come back in here with a gun for a month. Oh, by the way, check these pipes out. These cables going up into what looks like a giant machine. I love this place. I love everything in this game right now. I'm happy. Anyway, let's go ahead and... Ooh, this sort of gave me a Dead Space... No, this isn't giving me a Dead Space vibe as much as it's giving me a Coruscant vibe. If you've ever played... what was that old Star Wars game where you played as Jango Fett, the bounty hunter? When you're on the Coruscant levels, they sort of have this sort of burgundy red with similar designs to this on the walls. God, I love it. I want more of that. I want a hotel designed like that, and I just want to rent out a room every now and again for the hell of it. I love it! Anyway, let's move out of here. We've now cleared off the whole, well, if we started facing this large building, the whole right side. We've been everywhere there now. So now we can actually start going to the left, following our counterclockwise tour of Corp. And there's a ship flying by. That was not actually player controlled. All ships in the sky currently are NPC controlled, I say. They're really just not even real ships flying. They're just on a set course, buzzing about to make the world seem alive. But they do a relatively good job. Except for that, where the thrusters don't look like the proper thrusters coming out of the engines for Gladius. Your thrusters don't look like that! You lie! You lie! Alright, sorry about a crossfade that you would have just seen there. I decided to stop my recording to ensure that I didn't lose everything, because I actually had that happen to me once earlier. And after attempting to restart it, I couldn't move, so I actually had to restart the whole game. By the way, Kasaba isn't currently open, rather unfortunately, so as you can see, I'm going to try to go up to it. It says coming soon, F2. Our augmented reality system doesn't tell us anything about it. It'd be a great time to advertise. And unfortunately, if we up here, there's an invisible wall stopping me from going any farther. So I can't try to break into one of those windows up there, which should be allowing me to go everywhere. It's really unfortunate. Oh, I wish those were real windows. I wish every room was real. I wish I could go everywhere. I want to explore. Anyway, let's go on and carry on our long tour. That's where we came from earlier. And head across this way. Another large building right in front of us. I'm not sure what that one would be, really. The building itself says Astro Armada, but I don't know. I can't believe they would need that many rooms. I guess maybe just for paperwork, or whatever the futuristic equivalent of paperwork is. By the way, cables on the floor, thing guarding cables. Something pretty cool, as well as, of course, more stuff carved into it. Like that, looks like it could only be turned to access things. And another big door over here, which I imagine is their cargo drop-off, or at least at one point was. It seems very unused. And I appear to have found another hole in the ground. Oh lord, that is not good. That is very bad. Again, I wish I could go exploring. Hopefully one day they'll add more and more and more to explore, because I just want to go everywhere and explore everything, and I want air vents, and I want everything. Okay, Astro Armada. It's a pretty high-end stuff from the black and gold, which I do adore. And let's go ahead. Oh, imagine the cool breeze hitting your face as you walk in here and smell of fresh metal and electronics. Maybe a bit of paint. We don't want a car smell. The car smell is actually not nice, is it? But yeah, here's Astro Armada. More dirt, more plants. Not as overfilled as a lot of other areas, but still pretty beautiful. Nice sitting arrangements. I bumped into something. I bumped into a stool. I feel like I should have fallen over on it. I'm glad they don't actually have you falling over like that in the games. That'd be annoying. Of course, we got our person up here. Not too much to show. The amount of detail on the walls here is, I wouldn't say lackluster, because it fits the sort of clean dynamic they're going for in this place. But there isn't like little tiny details absolutely ever to look for, and unfortunately, it looks like this here isn't modeled in. These are all normal maps. It's all great stuff, but unfortunately it's clipping. It's Z-fighting with the rest of the floor, apparently. Pretty cool nonetheless. Semi-holographic displays showing off some ships and stuff. This is, I believe, a ship sales area. There's a nice big elevator to the left there that we cannot go up to, unfortunately. I'm assuming eventually that'll lead up to maybe the offices upstairs where you would finish the paperwork off to buy stuff. Also, more godless eyes. Da, da, da. I think everyone's been possessed. That's what Saul was saying. S-A-A-L. That was the person I was talking to earlier about the fungal stuff in the brew. Yeah, Astro Armada. There we go. Not much to see here, really. It's nice. It's not too much to see. Is that supposed to be a window? I guess it's supposed to be a window allowing light in there. It just seems a bit odd to have a window right there. Not sure that's intentional. Anyway, let's go ahead and head ourselves back up here, and this will actually take us out of this place. It reminds me a lot of, this whole area reminds me a lot of Mass Effect, frankly. One of their landing zones. Just awesome to have real people running around with you. It's a pretty cool place. I feel like I'm underselling it. It's got detail in the ceiling. It's got detail along the walls. It's got lines that each actually curve up to follow things. It's got division between a simple texture here and a texture here with more details. It's got little things holding different wall pieces on. And there's a lot of detail here. It just doesn't catch me as much as the really high detail areas. I really like that upper area of that bar. That was really nice. Anyway, let's move on from here and hang a right. And we'll now go... Wow, I thought that guy was going to crash into that bridge real quick. Can I hop over this? Please let me hop over it. Curse you, invisible walls. I hope in the PU, Persistent Universe, and later versions of this, once they get the death mechanics in, they'll actually let you jump off and commit suicide. And therefore, you'll wake up in that hospital thinking like, yeah, why did you do that? You're now banned from this planet because they don't want you committing suicide or something like that, or have a big fine against you, or every time you walk around there's a security guard that just sticks near you in case you try to commit suicide again. And if he sees you like jumping when you're near the railing, he just runs up to you like, nope, you're not doing that again. Not on my watch. We can't have dead people falling all over. Or depending on the planet, they'll just let you jump. Yeah, here's Dumper's Depot. Or Depot. This is actually, I believe, one of the last stores I have to show. The only one after this is the weapons place. So it's a pretty cool place. There's a nice sign work here. You can actually see the, I almost want to call it neon, the phosphorus-like lights that go around the whole thing, but they don't actually line up. I think it's a nice little touch, the fact that they don't actually line up and catch with themselves. It's a nice little thing. Of course, more detail, more pipes, more everything. We've seen these pieces used elsewhere. They're just moved around here and scuzzed up with a little bit of grime here and there. Pretty cool to see stuff on display. A little tiny bit of a almost holographic display here showing some information. There's actually real words there. I was just, I can't read it when it's going up that quick. It's a question of, and it's a bit blurry too. Could just be a 1080p isn't high enough for it. I doubt that. Anyway, let's go actually inside this place, shall we? Pretty nice divider here. I haven't actually seen this before, I don't think. Ooh, pretty. I like the ground too. There's little cut-ins here. See, this is what catches my eye. Oh wait, no wonder I'm loving this so much. It's very similar to that favorite piece of mine, isn't it? I think it might be using some of the same model. Maybe that's more modular than I thought. Anyway, let's actually go inside now. Through the waiting area. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Don't we rescue and recycle everything? Don't throw it away. It's still of use. Door. I wonder if this is going to be a door in the future, too. It sort of looks like one, doesn't it? Like one of those other doors just missing its window. Let's go in here, and here's Dumper's Depot! Unfortunately, you've probably seen this view before. They showed this place off ages ago. This is that big machine that just constantly cuts down the same ship. I'm hoping that later on they'll actually have different ships here. It'll just randomly pick from a list of ships and stuff that have been sold to this place to actually put one there and tear it apart. It's kind of cool. Here's a screen that's actually looks like it's bulging out like an old CRT monitor. Where's one's junk is another one's treasure. Where one's junk is another one's treasure. Dumper's Depot. Got it. Roger that. Lots of little recycling and repair. Everything. Yeah, lots of little phrase things. It almost feels sinister to me, frankly. Like they're trying too damn hard. And this person isn't following me. I walk around. It's so damn cool to get all that in there. Because I believe characters' eyes and heads are supposed to follow me. Oh boy. It's, yeah. It's pretty cool. You've probably seen it before. It's a decent sized place. It almost seems too big, honestly. I'd love to be able to walk down there and then maybe have little fencing preventing you from getting to that. But then again, I suspect they want the machines to be able to come and go. As time goes on, I'm sure we'll see more and more stuff here. Hopefully they'll actually see the lock on what's for sale there right in front of us where we just were before my game alt-tabbed. Only issue I have with Windows 10 is that every now and again it will actually alt-tab me. Which is, well, it's not fortunate, it's unfortunate. But yeah, hopefully we'll actually see what the place really has for sale on these shelves eventually, not just placeholders. And, Dumper Depot, wow, someone ran into me. I was going to spurge out. This is unfortunate. It looks like those buttons are a little warped. I get the feeling this is because this is one of their older areas. They might be going to rework it somewhat, or it might still need a few tweaks. Anyway, that's that. There's one last shop to show you guys, and one more little back alleyway. So let's go ahead and get to that right away. Unfortunately, we can't go that way. And back alley over here, as I said, look, it's actually closed off, and I actually linked the two little things together. It's pretty awesome. Hopefully this will eventually be opened up, and we can go exploring, and exploring, and exploring, and yeah. I want to go everywhere, as I've said 20 times now. I want to go everywhere! Absolutely everywhere. I want to explore everything. Why does that part stick out? Is that somebody's office right there that sticks out? Why is there a railing right there? Is it under construction, or is it just for signs? Can I go up there? If I have a sniper rifle, can I sneak it in here? Or is that weapon not allowed at all, and I'll definitely catch it? Oh, so many questions, so many things I want to do, I want to explore, I want to somehow get on top of that scaffolding around that building way up there. I just want to go everywhere. Look, why are there those half-circle things there on top of that building? And more signs. Is it an atrium in there, or is it like a shopping mall? So many questions, so much stuff I want to see. So much stuff. So much stuff. And more benches. These benches are awesome, even when they're made out of metal. I just love it. I love the detail in it. I love the way it's divided up and cut in and pushed out in different areas. Anyway, here's our last stop. Cubby Blast. We'll save this for Absolute Last. How about that? We'll save that for Absolute Last because people like guns, right? Oh god, look how cool that is. Little screens. The way we're suddenly under an overhang. There's all these cables here. They got a little fencing to prevent you from falling. Another door there. And then, look at this. A massive vent that I can imagine somebody wanting to jump into. And an incredible view. Maybe I should have saved this for last. look at all the passageways walking over everything down there. The bridges, that's what I'm looking for. Crisscrossing all over down there. God, it's incredible. I really just want to go everywhere. There was a guy who actually managed to see that they need to change those damn signs out. J42 and J45 is apparently everywhere. Oh my god, person. Yep, this is the last back alley, as I called it. Hopefully this will eventually lead to something. Astro Armada, you are a big building. I don't understand why you're so big. And another dead-end door. Yep, okay, we've seen everything. I think all you're going to be seeing now, if I keep running around, is the same exact stuff. Same exact stuff, because I've been down every hallway and I've shown every single corner of everything, I think. So, let's go ahead and get ourselves down here. God, I love those vents. I love everything about this place. There's nothing I don't like that I can think of right now. It's just all impressive. Just so damn impressive. Let's go ahead and head inside Cubby Blast. We even have a few weapons on the outside here. Shooting range available for test fire. Is it really? Try a rifle, pistol, or shotgun. Well, that sounds awesome. Here's that door type that I mentioned earlier. It's the same one that was behind the bar. This one just has a see-through window in it. Pretty cool. And we're now inside Cubby Blast. Is the name, right? Yes, Cubby Blast. Lots of little things again. An exit sign. I love that little touch. There's just so much detail here. The little triangular cutouts for stability in the corner pieces. I just love it. It's so beautiful. A Vandal target thing, so you can shoot at that theoretically. Sold out when they don't have enough weapons currently in the game to actually fill out all these, so they've just put sold out things on some of these. Got your grenades here. A few sold out things, because again, not enough. I love it. And probably sold out will be a real thing if somebody came through and just bought everything they had. Here's again one of those doors that unfortunately can't go through. You hold the balance of power with a tiny little dinky pistol. Shooting range, that way. You can see a little tiny glitch there where text comes and goes. More Z fighting, but unfortunately it does look like no dice on the shooting range yet. Hopefully we'll get that sooner rather than later. Probably once the FPS module gets a bit closer. The Star Marine modules, they've started calling it. Here's another little room. Nothing in there, but you can see that's how those doors are supposed to look. A Vandal head. A bit poor taste to just have a dead sentient creature's head sitting on your table. Yeah. And some knives, and ammo, and more ammo, and other. What are these things? I don't know what all these are. Alright, let's press F2, and we come up with this incredible AR thing, so you can actually go ahead and, despite all the advances in weapon technology, there will be a place for a dependable assault weapon. Klaus and Werner maintain that proud tradition by unveiling the ATT-4. This selective fire energy-based assault rifle is capable of providing accurate and sustained fire for up to medium range. That's a weird sentence. Perhaps the greatest asset of the ATT-4 is the high-capacity battery system, allowing operators to fire considerably more. There's no period at the end of that. It just ends. Anyway, yeah, you can go ahead and read through basically all these. They give you a price again. Right now, I don't believe you can actually buy anything, but you can see they're pretty awesome. It's got the same 3 weapons on the left there and the right, just in different orders. It's pretty awesome nonetheless, and the reason I read that one out is because it's my favorite. I want one in real life hanging on my wall. Look at that thing. Oh, I just want to hold it. Look at it. It looks like it feels so good to hold that gun. Look at my gun. It's amazing. I love it. Sorry. Got a little carried away. Yeah. So this is Cubby Blast. It's pretty awesome. There's another guy trying to get in the firing range. If you want, you can go through and look at all these. You get a little tiny description of what they are. I find this far better than anything they've had on their website. Just being able to walk up to it and look at it and see it in third person. Even works for these grenades over here. I didn't really show that, but you can see all the different grenades. There's actually only 3 of them. But even these grenades have incredible detail to them. If I was actually to get a little bit closer here, see they're well modeled out. They modeled an incredible amount of detail to these. Most games, when they do a grenade or something, they do a pretty low-res version for when you're actually throwing them, and then a high-res version for like the first-person view. Since this game is matching third-person and first-person, I suspect they are only going to have one version. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Oh, look at that. Look at all the little detail carved into there, the almost diamond-shaped things at the bottom, and then this one has all these little poppity bits. Pardon me if I was blocking somebody's view there. Well, check this out in the corner, too. It's like an ammo feed belt, I think. It's awesome. Anyway, guys, that's it. I think I've gone through all of Corp and looked at every little nook and cranny like I didn't plan to, but I ended up doing it anyway because, I mean, look at this. This is truly paying attention to what you're doing. They have a bevel on there, and then they have this huge bump in. So it's not just a bevel and then the piece of metal goes straight up. No, they have a bevel at the bottom, a bump in, goes up a little bit, and then it bumps out twice. There's actually 2 levels there where it bumps out and goes up a little bit, and then bumps out a little tiny bit more and goes up the rest of the way. And then they have a cut into it. These guys know what they're doing in art. This is fantastic. Oh, I love it so much. Even if this piece of plastic here I don't think is supposed to be here on the floor. Glass on the floor. I don't think it's supposed to be there. But whatever. It's getting there. This thing is coming along. And look at the people. Have you seen any rubber banding? You might have seen a little bit of clipping through stuff. But overall, the rubber banding and stuff is very, very limited. And people running doesn't look... Well, it looks a bit weird, the animation. But it doesn't seem out of place to see people running around in this world. I love this. I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy with this. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's me. If you've watched this whole thing through, my God, you have some serious dedication to this game. Or my channel. Probably this game. God, I love it. Just, there's so much detail on anything. I could literally just spend, like, another half an hour just looking at little things. I love this bench. I want this bench in real life. I used to have a couch in my office. I no longer want a couch in my office. I want this bench. And I want that building. I want to own everything. Anyways, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oh, look at the smoke coming out. Oh, I love it. Ta-ta.